What's up, everybody? Welcome to Mystics MMOs. I'm your host, Mystic Raven. All right, so I'm back to Final Fantasy 14. It's been a while. Not going to lie. It's been a minute. I think I'm going to do my daily with my DPS. And then I'll work on leveling some other stuff. So, anywho. I'm thinking about maybe switching back to my server, my original server. I don't know. It's been a minute for sure, but everything's back up, and I'm pretty happy about being back here. So I've been wanting to get on here now. My OBS has been acting up. I don't have my green screen. I've relocated for temporarily, given all the circumstances, and I'm hoping in the next few days, we'll get everything adjusted. But that's why my cam's not on. So, anywho, other than that, everything's just been kind of whatever. So I hope everybody's doing good. I'm hoping that we continue to get through this together as a world, as a society. We try to do what's right. We try to, help those in need and pull our resources together to battle this situation. So, but once again, social distancing, isolation, and I'm hoping that the people who run everything kind of come to an understanding of the circumstances. Like, if your business doesn't need to be open, like, shut it down. And I'm hoping the government can come up with something. You guys are gonna see a bunch of notifications, unfortunately. So heads up. Anywho, let's hope we can get this going. Back on my PC. All right, it's been a minute. It's been a long time. 1 second. Yeah.
For my appointment.
Huh?
I'm waiting for my appointment.
Oh, okay.
I'll be right back.
Okay. All right. Sounds good.
I'm gonna shut the door up here so she stays down here, but I just took her to the bathroom.
Oh, okay. All right. So I'm back. Let's hope we get a queue. It's less than 5 minutes. I got to clean up a lot of stuff in my inventory on my retainers. Haven't done the new story content. Now, I kind of wish I could go back to ESO in like this capacity, like do content that's meaningful and progressive, or at least, how should I say it, incentives. But unfortunately, the way they did ESO currently isn't really, I don't find any incentive currently doing ESO. And that's the sad thing. I'm not going to lie about that. Samurai is one of my favorite DPSs. No surprise. It's been a minute though, so hopefully I don't screw it up. I think I gotta redo my parser and stuff too. I'm trying to remember my, there it is. Snap. Should have hit it again. Oh snap. Oh no. Oh snap. Thank God for shields. Forgetting my bleed too, that's gonna hurt. Oh snap. Terrible. I'm going hard on myself. I don't need any of this. Yo, what's up? Sup, bro? We're back to this. Oh, shit. Dan, what's up? How you guys doing? I love this game. I'm kind of rusty, whatever. That last boss was terrible. Thank God the healer was good. I don't want to get friggin' tarred here or whatever. This one can be a bitch. Ah, shit. That's one thing I hate about this thing. No way, I thought I was between that. Great. Get me the hell out of this. Ugh. Ah, shit. No way. Oh shit, messed that up. That healer's really good. Thank God. What is a white mage? Hell yeah. That healer's badass. Do you ever play ESO on PC? Yeah, I have it on all platforms. I have ESO on all platforms. I just don't play it on... I haven't been playing it because, unfortunately, the incentives really suck right now. There's no incentives. They've been rocking the same fucking gear for the last 2 years. So it kind of blows. That's why I'm forced to play this. Not that I complain. Whatever. Alright. Looks good. Oh boy. I think we got like 3 more bosses. 2 or 3. Might have to go check the tall hook. Oh, I think that's the last one actually. Oh shit. Come on. Trying to keep those dots up. Done. Good shit. Giving it up to that healer. Holy spliffity spliffity spliff. Healer was badass. Do you like BDO? I like Black Desert. It's just a really heavy grind game. Combat's awesome, but it's grindy. I pull 74k and don't even use metagear. It's the rotation. Yeah, that's pretty badass. Thought you were all about death to the meta. As far as what? On ESO? It's stat stacking. It doesn't matter. We've gone over this, Dave. We've gone over it. I've been on PTS. There's no way to perfected gear allows 2 extra stat slots. There's no way around it. And when you swap off to the one side of the weapon, you can stack it. It's just it's unavoidable. So that's why everybody's running the same primary set. There's no way around it. There's just no way. And until ZOS, rectifies that for the next year, new content can keep coming out. And guess what? It's not going to do a lick of good. It's not going to incentivize what's already currently in place. You can do content and you can get really good setups. I'm not debating that. I'm just saying when you compare it to the stat stack, it's unavoidable. It's a stat. It's an extra friggin', spell damage, weapon damage, whatever extra stat you're going to get. How can you avoid that? You can't. You can't. That's impossible. So it's just like you're adding 2 additional stats on your sets. Sorry, but that's math. That's math. There's no way to avoid it. ZOS said it to themselves. It's not like I wanted it to be like that. It's just unfortunately the way it works. All right. I haven't done anything. Oopsie, wrong one. Let me move this over so you guys can see that. Well, maybe. Only meta players care about min-max. It's not what there's pointless. Here's the thing. You're going to have the argument about what's going to be the most effective. Prior to that, you can mix the numbers because of what? Indifferent curve, or indifferent in the indifferent curve based on what? Stats, how you know the character's passives and what the gear does mathematically. Right? And indifferent curve, the indifferent curve is, it was reasonable. There was no way you could come out with different builds to get the same effect. That's what made it compelling. Right? That no longer is applicable because of stat stacking. That's what I'm trying to say. It's not. That's why I always said death to the meta, because I could pull the same numbers with different gear before. It wasn't about min-maxing. They're like, oh, it's min-maxing. No, you guys were fucking wrong. That's in different values. The indifferent curve allowed me to go ahead and do what? Understand how the math was applied to each class. Unfortunately, that is no longer applicable because of stat stacking. I can't beat math. I can't rearrange the math that way. Right? It's just, what I'm saying? Diminishing returns was one thing to address when you had diminishing value. A different curve, that's a whole different thing when you take a look at the way each character is applied in passive mathematical variables. But when you have stat stacking, two additional numbers being applied that are no longer feasible to obtain any other way, you can't replace those variables. You can't replace those numbers. So there's no indifference now. There is no indifference. So that's the problem. You put a linear system inside a open-ended game, which makes every other product obsolete or inferior in comparison. There's no way around that. I can't rearrange the math. I can't. I just can't. I'm a numbers guy. Prior to the stat stacking, I could push the same numbers because of indifferent value. Right? I could get the same effect. I can't do that now. I can't. That's what I'm trying to say. And that argument's always going to be present. There's no incentive anymore. There's no incentive. I wish there was, but there isn't. All right. I mean, I really do. But there isn't. That's what I'm trying to say. At the end of the day, nothing I can do. What do I need to level? I was working on the pally for the longest time, but I think I need to raise the gun still. I don't know where my gun blade's at. He's at 70. And I think my warrior, hold on. Is at 71. It's been a minute since I've been doing this one too. I'll do the warrior. Just because my retainer's a warrior, I need to level this dude up. One thing I do love about this game, I could switch jobs on the fly. It's like I don't have to log in and out. I don't have to do that. It has its own progression with each job. But you can get close. I know. I agree. I'm not debating that. You can even still do all the content without that. I agree. I do. I totally agree with all of that. But there's no incentive to do the new content when the gear is inferior. You can run old gear and still get the same effect. There's no incentive. That's what I'm trying to say. I'm not going to play a content that I'm not getting any incentive out of building something, that's unique to the class. That's what kept me going for the years that I did it. I could literally come out with unique builds that were competitive, even if it didn't hit a maximum amount of number. It made the content unique to the point where it incentivized you to get the gear if you wanted to play that build or rearrange the build in your preference. But now that's gone. It's like, why am I going to do gear? Why am I going to get the gear when there's nothing incentivizing me to do it? That's the problem I face with the SO now. PvP, I can PvP, and I'm still not getting incentive in that element as well. So I'm kind of tossed. I'm like, oh, hey, it sucks. It royally sucks. For me, it's a really bad scenario all the way around. Like I said, I hate it. Not really happy about it, I'll be honest. I wish and I wish. And I mean, I really hope that ESO, does kind of learn from this. Because that would be a really good thing to say, oh, you know what? We fucked up. Well, yeah, you did, kind of, majorly. You kind of lightweight fucked up. What is that? A storage shit? What the fuck? Oh. Uh-huh. Here it is. Uh-huh. Out here. Boom, boom. I know I'd find it. You're not going to play ESO anymore? I can PvP on ESO, but I can't do PvE content The new gear is badass for PvP though. I would say that some of that gear is decent for PvP. Is it required? No. But once again, PvE to acquire PvP. I see problems with this. It's just, it keeps coming into play. I'll play ESO for PvP, but I won't PvE it anytime soon. Not until they've adjusted things. There's no incentive to it. Those that need incentive to PvP are not real PvPers, right? But, okay, in every game you play PvP, there's something that keeps you motivated to do it. There's always something, a trophy or something. There's something that keeps you on the chase. There's no game without it. I mean, there's no real. I've never seen a PvP and just like, oh, it's cool, Everybody, it's fun. I can PvP in ESO for fun, but I mean, is it like compelling enough to continue? No, it's not. There's nothing there that says, hey, push for this or push for that, or be competitive. There's no competitive element other than bragging rights, and that to me is just like eh. Halo, yeah, but I never played, I never played Halo that much either because of it. Halo, I just did for fun, There was a ranking board at one time, but there was no incentive. So when I PvP'd Halo, and I'm not a very good first-person shooter, just happiness of owning, I don't know. I like my titles. I like, like, in Rift, I had my association to my incentive. There was incentive in Rift. World of Warcraft, same thing. Even in this game, there's incentive. And this PvP sucks. Final Fantasy XIV PvP blows, and they have incentive. Hello, it's like, hey, we got this flashy mount that's only going to be available to 100 players. Good luck. And you're like, oh shit. Oh boy, this is going to be bad. Because I haven't played this in a minute. We'll be fine. What is it? Astro? For my healer? Oh, it's a newbie. Viewing the cutscene. My support is a Dragoon. My DPS is a Scholar. Okay. Sweet, sweet.
Leave this to me.
Going to take it a little bit slow, given the fact it's been a minute for me. Usually I run and gun, but Tank stands. Oh, shit, yeah. Yep, forgot my tank stance. Oh, shit. That would have been bad. Like I said, it's been a while. I'm glad my macros still work. Cool. Don't need it. I love Warrior. Warrior's so badass. How in the hell? It's always one I'm missing up there too. Damn it. I thought I pulled it. Stop looting if you don't need it. Damn it, I hate this shit. Gotta wait. Right there, right there. Move it, move it, move it. Ah, shit. Healer down. Bingo, baby.
You underestimate me.
I'm so glad that they did this shit to the healers, though. Making them heal better. I remember, like, times I would fucking die because they were DPSing their asses off. It was annoying as hell. The threat the tanks generate now is just kind of unreal too.
As one.
Come on. Go, go, go. I don't know where my summoner's at. I don't think I got him all the way up there, but that's a pretty easy rotation.
This day you die.
Yugity! Blech. Yo, Chrissy, what's up? You're running a tank right now. I am, yeah. DOC was ish because that PvP was amazing. Yeah, you know, for sure. DOC was, you know, but you got to think ESO is pretty close to what it was. Here's the lines. Yeah, I'm good. Nope. What did we lose? Our healer and our other reser. Well, that's fucking great. Me and the Dragoon. Come on. I'm gonna die. No way around it. Get him! Get him! He's dead. Oh no! And he has the limit break. Oh my god, go, 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 go. One man limit break for the AoE. Oh no, he's dead. He's. Yeah. That sucks. It happens. Blah. Are you going to play New World? I don't know. The combat is just trash in this game. I like this combat. I'm able to macro. Once you macro, it makes it so much, like, to me, it's a lot better. It's better than World of Warcraft. It's exactly like World of Warcraft. If you played World of Warcraft, then this is no different. The animation is just a lot better. This game, to me, it's just like any other turn-based game, except I can macro and make the combat feel a lot smoother. It's a turn-based game. I mean, that's what it is. Like, if you're accustomed to turn-based, it's not for everybody. If you're not accustomed to turn-based games, then you're not going to like any turn-based game. But this is a turn-based game. You know? No different than Lord of the Rings. No different than, World of Warcraft, Rift, none of those games. They're all turn-based. So, the only difference is I can, like I said, I can macro better in this game than WoW. The animation's a lot better. You definitely do not want to be near me when that happens. I'm good. Oh shit. Get him up. If that healer dies, we're so screwed. Not easy being a healer. Really isn't. We're good. Let one of the DPS hit the break. Summoner, ideally, he's got AoE. Hell yeah. I'm actually going to give it up to the Dragoon. Bro, real men shouldn't use macros. You're crazy. I know it's third base. Was never a fan of it. Oh, right. You know, are you going to play? No, yeah. Like I use macros. Don't kid yourself. Like I used to have Z board, like hotkeys configured, macros out the ass. If I could do it, I'd do it. That's what was my strength in most MMOs, was being able to utilize, command prompts really easily. I got busted on UO for using a third-party program and macroing. So yeah, don't kid yourself. I've been macroing since I could do it. If I could, command, write the command sequence, yeah, I did that. That's my shit. I did that for like World of Warcraft. I used to do that for all the classes. Come up with their rotation in hotkeys and stuff. Yeah. So no, you're wrong. Turn-based games. If you want to be like making sure you're, hitting points. A lot of people are like, "Oh, Mac." I'm like, no. I'll beat your DPA if my macros are set up and everything's on point and my rotation is in sequence. I don't give a shit what you're doing. I'm beating you based on just configuration. Macros aren't cheap, man. It takes skill. You fuck up on a sequence, your whole DPS rotation goes out the window, man. You better know what you're doing. That's why Irish and them praise my macros. Sniper confirmed. Yeah, that's why Irish and these guys, when they play this game, they use my macros. They use them. All those guys use my macros. Scott, Irish, what's his name, uses his own. But yeah, it's all about sequencing. If you don't sequence right, you're gonna like fuck up big time. So I'm gonna do this real quick. I already read some of this, but Honestly, I definitely am a macro player. I always have been. I have always have been. Don't like, and there's not a lot of people who can like. Some people know how to macro like simple things, and but I do things in like a sequence or an order based on whatever, what I'm seeing with that class, how the rotation goes, and I've always been able to do that pretty good. Like a lot of people are like tanks don't macro, and I do. You don't, I do. I know how to rotate, how to set up a tank macro. Like you don't have to. If you don't feel comfortable with it, don't. But I've macroed like some of the hardest raids in MMOs. People are like, "You're macroing?" I'm like, "Yep." Because I know what I'm following up with once I hit a hotkey. It's like you can hotkey it, but it's like I know what's going to come out after once I use that skill, what I have to drop with. So why wouldn't I combine the two and macro it? Why? That makes no sense to me. Like, why not to? So I always have. Yeah, Rift. Oh yeah, I totally like. When I open up Rift, I have commands and commands of macros, tons of macros on Rift, shitloads, big time. Like I said, I'm a macroer, and like I said, you can fuck up macros. Believe it. The only thing about Rift, what I liked about Rift macroing versus this, you could literally, error out any. Like if so long as the sequence wasn't, on a CD, a cooldown, you could bypass any syntax error. But in this game, you can't do that. So if there's an error, like it literally freezes up. You can't have basically you can't put a spammable in front of a cooldown. Cooldown sequence has to occur. Spammable has to be on the back end. And if it's a dot, you have to go ahead and apply that to a separate macro to apply dots prior to rotation. So that's got to be held separate majority of the time. So that's how I I used to configure all that. Like I said, I used to do them for my my guildies and stuff. But I don't play games to activate easy mode in any game. Well, it's not like I said. You get somebody with a fucked up macro and watch the bitch fest go on. It will happen, especially in end game. Like in World of Warcraft, if you fuck up on a rotation, you're pretty much going to be 86th. You will pay the piper on that. So. Try telling a World of Warcraft player easy mode on that shit. They'll be like, fuck you. Nuh-uh. I'm not fucking dying because some scrub didn't fucking have his fucking rotation and hotkeys and macros set up right. Yeah, that shit will fuck you up. It's not easy mode. That's required mode. That's not easy. That's required mode. Yeah, you got your shit set up? No, that's like noob shit. Yeah, well, congratulations. You're not getting in my raid. Yeah, we got, there's an enrage timer associated, and I'm not using a macro or a hotkey setup or my rotation. Yeah, everything's gonna be fine. We're good to go. No. It's not. That's like I said. You got to know your shit. But you don't play turn-based games. You don't know. I get it. You don't play turn-based games. And this game, it's not so whatever. It's not. It's not as hectic. You know, as like maybe some people, like there are hard modes in this game, obviously, and I think some people would differ based on, you know, setup. But I like, you know, some games are a little bit more whatever. Oh shit.
So, how are they? Still locked in slumber, but otherwise in good physical health.
Anyways, I do got to get a phone call going on. I should be cutting this, but I do appreciate everybody stopping in. Thank you, David. Thank you, Chrissy. Thank you, Dan. Everybody, thank you so much for the continued support. Final Fantasy XIV. You know, I do like the story progression. I like the fact that I can play any job. I don't have to switch out any characters. There is also a linear progression system. There are, you know, the PvP is not really that good in this game at all. I would not recommend this game for PvP ever. But there are a lot of pros and cons to every game, and you have to associate. It's turn-based. If turn-based is not your game, is not your thing, do not try to play this game because you will not like it. There are other games that are more action-based combat. So, you know, I play DAOC. That's true. That's true. Yeah, you got a point there. But like I said, I'm just used to it. I'm accustomed. I'm you know, I've been doing this for a long time as far as all this stuff. So sometimes I got caught doing things that maybe I shouldn't have, whatever, but whatever. Anyways, man, thank you guys so much. Thank you. I appreciate it. I'm going to have fun. It's going to be a blast. As always, man, try to keep, you know, in your good health right now. That's the most important thing, everybody. Try to keep, you know, I hope everybody, you know, remains in good health. That's my only concern moving forward, and hopefully everything gets rectified sooner than later. And you know, that's what I'm clinging on to. So heads up, stay healthy. Once again, I'm Mr. Craven. This is Mystic MMOs. As always, have a nice day.